What's up everybody, back to another video, and today I'm in Kraków, Poland, or if you're American you can screw everything up, Krakow. So, an unfortunate series of events happened for me to end up in Kraków. Long story short, there's a little problem with my paperwork and re-extending my residence permit in Ukraine, so I had to leave the country, get a new visa, and Kraków is one of the closest places and easiest places to do that. So while my circumstances bringing me here aren't exactly ideal, I'm glad it happened because I really love this city. I've forgot how beautiful it was, and it gave me a chance to do some filming. So I'm in the main square, the Rynok, and you can see this massive building behind me. That's the old city market, and we're flanked on the other side by this is a St. Mary's Church. If memory serves me correctly, Poland is extremely Catholic, their religion. And then I wish I wouldn't have walked so far into the square to show you the city hall tower on the other side of the market here. And this is also one of these smaller chapels. Just give me a real quick rundown because I got all my visa paperwork taken care of today, my first day here, and so now I don't leave until Saturday, so I've got 3 full days before I even leave. So I'm going to go through all this most likely eventually before I leave. And here's the city tower on the other side of the square. So if you've never heard of Kraków or don't know a lot about it, it is the second largest city in Poland and one of the oldest cities dating back to the 7th century. From 1038 to 1596, it was actually the capital of Poland. So I'm going to go in all these cathedrals I planned. There's a few more, some other things to see while I'm here. I'm going to introduce you something here in the next couple of days called a milk bar, which is left over from the communist era. And I'll talk a little bit about those before I go in one. I've got a couple of American guys that I met in Kiev. They're flying in here tonight to hang out with me till Saturday. A couple of brothers, they came to Kiev for one of his 50th birthday, so they've been in Kiev about a month. They're gonna come hang out with me here for 3 days. We've got a couple of tours and excursions planned, and so no telling what other debauchery they'll have us getting into. So look around the other side of the square here. Funny enough, first time I was ever here in 2017, I think. It's the first place I ever had Georgian food, was in one of the restaurants behind me we just walked by. See a lot of tour groups always here throughout the city. I'll show you this on the back side. They're doing repairs to this hall, but I like these lions here. There's a small model of the tower. Okay, keep walking around and see what else we can get into here. I'll give you a warning early in this video. So off the main square here, on all the streets, there's one street on all 4 corners, and there's a street on all 4 sides in the middle too. So there's all these side streets that have all these bars and strip clubs, restaurants, and at night, they hire people to sit on the corner intersections and try to invite you in. You know, oh, here, I know a place I'll take you to. Oh, here's a special, you know. So, I mean, it doesn't bother me, except every 5 feet you have to tell one of them no. It's constant all night on every street off the corners. So just a little forewarning in case you happen to come, you may see that. This reminds me of Alfred Hitchcock, The Birds. So I'm right outside the city market on the other side, the old market, and I just opened up my phone because I was going to try to read a little bit about it and tell you guys about it, and all of a sudden I see this. No. Let me readjust my phone here. There is an underground museum too underneath this. So I had no idea that was even there, so that's something I'm going to have to try to figure out how to work into my schedule to do sometime this week because that looks pretty cool. I'm going to show you the inside of the market since the stalls are open. Now this used to be like an outdoor farmer's market type thing, or you know, back in I guess we would say the medieval times or older times, people, you know, they sold their wares in here besides food, leather goods and things like this. Now it's kind of commercialized with a bunch of junk. I'll spin around. Bunch of everything wooden. Your religious artifacts and pipes. Oh, I guess pipes are, handmade pipes in Poland. I didn't know that was a thing here. I have no idea where the underground is, so I'm about to figure out. Museum Kraków. Maybe this is it. Doesn't say underground though. But there's a lift. Oh yeah. Looks like that is the underground. Oh, so there's a schedule. Scheduled not tomorrow. It's on the 21st. They're doing tours. Starts at 10:10, 10:20, 10:40, and here's a list of places available. Guess maybe you have to go online and book them, or come in here when they're open and try to book. So, okay, at least I know where this is. Okay, so that's new. Keep going. This is St. Mary's Church. Hey, from what I've read online, this is actually a basilica. So St. Mary's Basilica was built in 14th century, but its foundations date back to the 13th century. And visitors. Hopefully I can film in here. Forgot. Wow, what an impressive church. That was probably one of the more impressive churches I've been in. And I don't think I've been in there. That's my third time in Kraków, and I don't think I've ever made it in there. There's another little church right next to this. I'm gonna have to look to see what this is. I wanted to go in here, and this was closed last time. So I don't know if tourists are allowed or anything, but I'm gonna see if I can pop in here. Pretty impressive little church too. It was nobody in there, so even just me walking, I could hear my steps echo. It was kind of quiet. Let's spin back around and look at St. Mary's Basilica here. By the way, if you want to go in St. Mary's Basilica, you have to get tickets right across from the entrance. They are 10 zloty, which at 4 zloty per dollar right now, that's $2.50 for you to go in. Not bad to go in that church. And here's some of the original foundation that said that dated back to the 13th century of the church. And this is just a side view of that little church that I just came out of. Seen a lot of skulls and bones everywhere here. There's bones up here, saw skulls in both churches. That'd be a cool apartment right there. This is on the back side of St. Mary's. And right on the other side of the church, a couple little pubs. This Bulldog Pub, I was there last time I was here. It's a pretty fun little pub. They show rugby and soccer matches, or football. And then right next to it, this is new. It is the Kraków Harley Davidson motorcycle shop. However, let the horses go by. However, when I was looking in the window last night, I don't see anything that says Kraków on it. In Square, I said there was a big market. So this is St. Mary's right on the square. This is right behind it. This area right here is known as the small market. On the weekends, they still have farmers markets and things like that out here. It's 6 o'clock in the evening. Like my mind's telling me it's time to eat, but about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I was waiting on my visa. They told me to come back at 3. And, you know, they were going to print it, and so I just stopped in a little restaurant. I thought I'd have a light lunch, so I ordered a soup and then a Caesar salad. And they bring me out this massive bowl of soup with like kielbasa sausages in it. There was a hard-boiled egg cut in half. There was like potatoes, maybe some leeks, some mushrooms, like shiitake mushrooms. And then they bring me out this massive salad that didn't hardly have any lettuce on it. It was like 4 great big grilled chicken breasts and then a bunch of bacon, almost like Canadian bacon or like European bacon. And that was in there. So by the time I ate both those, I almost didn't finish it. So here I thought I was going to have just soup and a salad for lunch, and I ended up getting this massive meal. So now I'm just not hungry anymore. So I'm just kind of killing time. These guys don't come in until 10 o'clock tonight. I've got to meet them at the train station and try to show them how to get to the hotel because they've never been here. Just walking past this place. I've never been here, but it actually looks pretty cool. The Black Gallery Pub. It's about a block off the main square, so I'm going to have to check this out this weekend. Been here 24 hours and I've had half a beer. I had half a beer with dinner last night, and that's all I've had. So I'm eyeballing all the pubs. Just looking at these hotels, see the flags outside. Of course, the red and white is the Polish flag. I just saw today that the blue and white is the Kraków city flag. And then there's a church last night that had those 2 flags and then a yellow and white flag. So I have to find out what the yellow and white flag is. Maybe that's the state or regional flag. So the quest continues to find out about that. Oh yeah, so I didn't want to try to use my Ukrainian SIM card here because I'd get killed on roaming fees. So I went to the mall last night, and at the very bottom there's a little like a newspaper stand called Relay, and I bought this starter something SIM card. I told them I didn't need to call, I just needed data. So I got a 12 gig SIM card for 5 zloty, so it's $1.25 US. So if you're looking when you get here, if you're coming from the States or you're coming from outside the EU, because your phone's in the EU, it's free roaming anywhere in the EU. But if you're coming from outside the EU, go there, get one of those little SIM cards for $1.25 US, and you'll have 12 gigs of data. And of course you can buy, I think I saw up to like 60 gigs of data or 120 or something crazy. So however much you think you'll use. So I think I remember reading online that Ukraine left the Soviet Union in 1989. That seems a little early because the Soviet Union collapsed in, what, 1991? Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. So I guess it joined the European Union in 2004. Just looking at old pictures of Poland, it reminds me of Ukraine today. So whenever I think of Poland or I'm in Poland, it's kind of, for me, it's like what I hope Ukraine eventually becomes once they access into the European Union. Just the infrastructure here is so much different. I mean, when you take a train from from Europe into Eastern Europe, all the way up to Poland, and then you get to the border, the trains going on into Ukraine, the tracks are different. They're wider, so they have to switch bottoms. They're not in good shape. They're brand new 4-lane highways right up to the border. On the other side of the border going into Ukraine, if there's a road at all, maybe it's a dirt road, maybe it's, you know, falling apart. So hopefully, whenever Ukraine assesses itself or gets assessed into the EU, they'll get a bunch of the infrastructure upgrades. And yeah, I hope so, because I really would like to see Ukraine be more modernized, like Poland has been since joining the European Union. I'm just kind of walking the streets, and I walk past a bar here, and I recognize, I saw it on the internet before I came. It's called Tram Bar. Like there's seats out of actual trams in there, or your Ukrainian tramway. And so I was kind of looking inside. There's some other bars, so let's check us out here. There's the seats from the trams. But there's more than killer Pomeranian here. There's more than one bar here. So here's Tram Bar. This is the world's most famous herrings. I hear salsa music. It's a movie theater. Oh, this is a passage that goes all the way through the square. Now I see the passage. Oops. I have to walk all the way through just to see where it comes out. There's a little bar. Place looks fun.
Są sukiennice, jest mały kościółek.
Oh, it's right here on the main square. I didn't realize that's where we were. So we're right back out in the main square where I very first started filming now. Right around the corner from my hotel. How convenient is that? Alright, I think I'm going to have to go back in one of those places, stop and get a beer. I'm at 20,000 steps on the pedometer. I need to sit. I'll be back. In Tram Bar. Show you some of the decorations on the wall. I walked down the street last night and I saw there were a couple girls sitting in these chairs, and I just didn't know they were the old actual chairs out of the trams, so I didn't realize this was Tram Bar. Pretty good selection of cocktails too. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up for tonight. Excuse me. I'm at about 23,000 steps on my pedometer today. I am wiped out, so I think I'm gonna go take a nap before my buddies show up from Kiev. So didn't really plan on going in St. Mary's Basilica today, but that's one of the things I wanted to do, so I got that crossed off my list. So it's kind of a bonus day because I didn't have anything planned, because today was my appointment at the consulate, and I don't know how long that was gonna take. So got one thing knocked off my list. Let these guys get here, get settled in. We got a couple of tours and trips booked later on in the week, and so do some more videos from here, show you guys what else it has to offer. And oh, look, here at the end of my street, there's another pretty cool little church. So, all right, like I said, I'm going to wrap this up for the night. See you guys tomorrow.